Hey, and welcome to another Podcast Valley Sunday. I am one of your hosts, Chris Paco.
And I'm your other host, Jeff Cameron.
How's it going, Jeff?
Hey, okay. How about you today, Paco?
Good. Going well. Heading into summer. First day of summer.
Yes. Incredible.
Yeah,
and,
here it is.
Sorry about last weekend, gang, but we're back and we're ready to rock.
Yeah, here we go. Let's do this. So here we are. We're heading into the top 30, but we figured we'd catch you up on what you've missed from 50 on down. Not the whole list. We're not doing the whole thing. But from 50 to 30, we thought we'd just sum it up for you, just so to catch you up. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
You're busy. You might not remember everything we talked about. Hurtful, but true. All right, so at number 50, we had Salesman.
At number 49, we got Admiral Mike.
And at 48, we've got Heart and Soul.
Number 47, me and Magdalena.
And at 46, we've got Words.
Number 45, we got Sheep.
And at 44, we've got Getting In.
Number 43, we got While I Cry.
At 42, we've got 99 Pounds.
41, we got Scroungy Girlfriend.
And at number 40, we've got the Run DMC hit, Mary Mary.
At number 39, we got What Am I Doing Hanging Around?
At 38, we've got Right and Wrongs.
Number 37, we got St. Matthew.
At 36, we got Tear the Top Right Off My Head.
At number 35, we are Looking for the Good Times, baby.
At number 34, I Don't Think You Know Me.
At 33, Take a Giant Step.
Number 32, my hockey number, Papa Jean's Blues.
At number 31, Randy Scouse Get. Which brings us up to date to today.
Yes, there you go. Solid 50 to 31.
Hella solid.
So now we'll head right into number 30. We've got the closing credits of season 2, For Pete's Sake. Okay, obviously a classic because it's the closing credits of season 2. It's just a song you instantly know as soon as you hear that opening guitar riff. But I also think that almost works against it because you just think of that first you think of the condensed version of it that fits into the end credits.
Yes.
And when you do listen to this full song, man, I really like. Every time I hear it, I'm surprised at how much I like it.
It is a lot of fun. And on our video version of the Randomatic Countdown on our YouTube page, we got, For Pete's Sake, spliced with the footage from the Monkee Mayor episode, extended all the way out to 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
Whew! They get a lot done in that 2 minutes, 28 seconds. It's a great 60s vibe of a song with a message of love and understanding, wanting to be free. It's just it's perfect for the show. It is.
It's all Pete all the way. That's except for the vocals. He handed those over to Mr. Micky Dolans. But it's Pete on the lead guitar, and Mike's on the organ, Micky's on the drums, Davy's on the tambo, and Chip Douglas on the bass.
Yep. And Micky's voice, as always, fantastic. I think I say that. I'll probably say that for almost every song in this countdown now.
Yeah,
but
man.
It's also the background vocals are awesome. That plunky guitar, that muted plunky guitar that opens it up is also awesome. So
it is very cool. And I think just about every time we saw them live, Pete handles the lead vocal.
Oh, yeah. Nice. That's cool.
And we pulled this back on episode 18.
And I wonder why Pete didn't sing it in the studio, like for the album, or that Micky's voice was the more commercial quote-unquote voice, maybe?
Maybe. And maybe it would increase the chances of it getting used on the show, and boy, did it ever get used on the show.
Yeah, for real.
It seems to match up so well with the faces flying by that you enjoy so much.
Yeah. What was the song in the first season over the credits?
That was the theme from the Monkees.
But they did it again at the... Oh, that's right. That's right. They did. Yeah.
Did you always just shut it off and run away when the boys come up on the still shots that give you nightmares?
For some reason, I thought they put something else in for some... But then when I just played it in my head, I was like, oh, no, of course, it's the theme. Yeah, that's right. I think because For Pete's Sake, to me, is the ending credits. It's hard for me to be like, oh, yeah, there was something else.
It's true. And I don't know, like in some of the syndicated episodes, I think it is like stuck on to some of the first season episodes, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe.
Like maybe when they got around to sticking the other songs into the episodes, like in the later 60s, early 70s, maybe they just kept that closing, but I may be wrong there. But it is on Headquarters. It came out in 67 with the rest of Headquarters. And it's just them kind of, it's a creative peak for them as the dudes making the tunes themselves, I think. So anyway, that's our number 30, For Pete's Sake.
Moves us oddly enough down to number 29. It's not Friday's Adolescent, it's Saturday's Child.
She's always on the go, so I'm in love with Saturday's Child. Every time you take her out at night, you wanna kiss and hold her way up tight. You can tell the future's looking bright.
Garage Band Ripper, Saturday's Child.
Oh yeah.
And it's another one, again, that sneaks through the cracks. I am surprised it's up so high or so low on the list, whichever way you're looking at it. But it is a really cool song that, again, I forget that it's as good as it is. But, yeah, I don't know. It seems very shockingly high to me on the countdown.
Oh, yeah. Well, anytime I put it on, you just picture the dudes jumping through the air from the show and the children running around on the beach.
Yeah.
Like, it is like, it's an iconic show song, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. And it's got that kind of psychedelic rave up guitar riff and the solo where things get a little crazy.
Yeah, I think that's how it ended up as high as it did, because that solo is pretty awesome. Like, for first album, that's a solo that's knocking your socks off.
Yeah, man, it's like a lot of these very, very early songs is kind of proto-psychedelic.
It really is. How it starts and the verse make it seem so tame, you know what I mean? But then as it stomps up to that bridgy part in the solo, it's like, oh man, okay, here we go.
It's got an early deployment of the famous Micky Dolenz orgasmic gasping.
And there's just a plop boom, boom.
The drum hook that just kind of brings it back around every time.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Saturday's Child. Good times.
And by the numbers, it appears to be our favorite song on the Monkees' debut album. Because that means that's a wrap on the Monkees' debut album here at the Randomatic Countdown at Podcast Valley Sunday.
I was just about to ask that. Is this the highest charting? So yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
So that's it. We're done with the debut, and we're moving on.
And yeah, as we've mentioned before, we like side one a lot more than we like side two of the Monkees' debut album.
100%.
It brings us all the way up to number 28, where we have, in brackets, I'm Not Your... And outside the brackets, Stepping Stone.
I'm not your stepping stone. I'm not your stepping stone.
Boyce and Hart jam on More of the Monkees, and it's also the B-side to I'm a Believer. What a slice of vinyl that is.
For real. It gives you both sides of the Monkees at that time, like their juicy pop stuff, and then it's more of a rockin' garage band stuff on B-side.
Exactly. Good call, Paco.
For me, this was the first song, the first Monkee song for me that was my favorite. Like when I was watching it in grade 5 at my granny's house, this was the song that really got me. And I was like, holy smokes, look at this. This is awesome.
Oh, it's a good choice. It's such a diss of a song.
For real. Like, it rocks out, but then that organ really lifts it up at the chorus. And there's probably, I wonder if they've ever had a show where they haven't played I'm Not Your Stepping Stone. I feel like that'd be a staple.
It is for sure one of the mainstays of the set. Like, there's that handful of tunes you expect to hear every show. And sometimes they get them out the way right away, and they save a couple for the encore. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of encores where it was like Stepping Stone and then I'm a Believer. It's just like reverse the single there, and like, you know, what's better than that?
Yeah, exactly. And it was also one of the first songs I learned to play on guitar.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, so that was, it's nostalgic for so many reasons for me. Just a classic.
For sure. And we pulled it way back on episode 10. I'm pretty sure every time we talk about Stepping Stone, we have to talk about the live 1967 version.
I feel like that is the band the Monkees would have been if they were like an organically created band.
Yes.
Like a very garagey, very raw, but in the best sense of raw. Like the background vocals in that are so amazing, but I could see other people being like, oh my God, what are they doing? If they only like the studio version.
And there's just that ominous build up to it. Then it just kind of explodes, and the screaming, and then those background harmonies come in, which are a little different from the studio version, but whatever works on the stage when you're trying to get past all the screaming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great version of it. I'm glad it exists. Live 67 is fantastic.
Absolutely.
All right, so now that brings us down to number 27 and brings us all the way up to the most recent Monkees album. We've got Birth of an Accidental Hipster.
Recent album, non-Christmas division.
Yes, yeah. Most recent quote-unquote original album is this one here. And this song is my favorite song on Good Times.
That's interesting. We still got a couple more Good Times tunes coming up, and this one is way up there for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, is the album itself so strong. There's like at least 5 or 6 songs I will listen to every time I put it on.
Yep.
You can't say that about most albums in general, let alone an album a band puts out 50 years after they are formed.
Exactly.
So it's a heck of a thing.
For real. It's Mike's voice just soars on it. And now honestly it makes me kind of emotional listening to it because it's Mike strong and killing it. And Micky's voice on the pre-chorus and chorus is great. And the two of them, I love when the two of them go back and forth between verses and choruses and then do some harmonies together. It's a beautiful thing, and this song is just fantastic. Was it written by Paul Weller and Noel Gallagher?
I think it's Liam Gallagher. I'm not sure.
No, it's no.
I don't think it's no.
It is 100%. Look it up right now. You looked it up last time too. Liam doesn't write music. Noel does.
A few minutes later.
Okay, you're right. It's Noel Gallagher and Paul Weller, formerly of the Jam. So that's a lot of clout.
Heck yeah. I was shocked that Noel Gallagher would write a song for the Monkees. I did not think he would do something like that, and I'm really glad he did because this song is awesome. I bet he's a fan.
I bet he doesn't talk about it too much, but I'm sure he's a fan of the Monkees.
Yeah, hopefully more than he is of his own brother. I guess he is because he did something for the Monkees, and he would not do anything for his brother. You know, there's always a song in the album that just hits you in a way where you're like, whoa, holy. That's what this song did to me first time I heard Good Times. I was just like, wow, this is the one for me.
This is very, very cool. And the clip we have is them on the tour like you said, talking about it. On the video we have, it segues into St. Matthew, which is a pretty neat little 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm.
When I was watching it once, my fiance Crystal said, 'cause she's familiar with the Monkees, but she says they look like themselves dressed as old people.
Which essentially they are.
Yeah. That's could not be more accurate. What can you say?
Yeah, exactly. And it's from, I believe, the tour we saw, not like the latest tour where people were saying Mike was looking a little thin or whatever, not looking well. This one, he looks well and he's funny and he's Mike. And it's
he's got the long hair and a little beard and he's
yeah, it's awesome.
He's into it. It was cool when they're into it, obviously.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so that'll bring us now to number 26. We're switching gears here, and we're going with Sometime in the Morning.
Sometime in the morning, a simple thought may occur to you, and you hold her and tell her all the things you never told her.
That's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous tune.
You're say a really beautiful song that I'm pleasantly surprised landed as high as it did, to be honest.
For real. It's a Goffin and King number, like a good deal of these tunes. And man, oh man, it sounds greater than the sum of its parts, because it sounds like this lush arrangement, but it's just like drums and an organ and a guitar and a bass and not much else. The singing is there and like a double track vocal, but if you listen to it, it just all fits together so well and sounds so good.
Yeah, it's amazing. It always reminds me of the episode too, where the boys are dancing with what was her name? Young Mrs.
Rosemarie.
Yeah,
that's her real life name. But fuck, what was her name?
I can't recall it right now, but I can see it, them dancing in slow motion in the pad, song playing. It's so good. And it's a song when I was younger I didn't really like, because it was slower and blah blah blah. I just wasn't into it.
Yeah.
But now when I hear it, I'm like, oh, nice, all right. And yeah, like I say, I'm very happy where it landed on the
yeah, and of course it's got the Nesmith wink in the video.
Yeah.
Which is just devastating.
Yeah.
And and if you listen to it on the headphones, especially, like when it gets to the bridge, then there's the part now in her childlike eyes, and in the background you hear someone yell, "Sing it!"
In her childlike eyes.
It sounds like it's off to the side, like I think someone's yelling like in real life around me. Like,
That's crazy.
It is kind of a risque song when you get down to it, because if you're with someone sometime in the morning, someone stayed over.
Probably. And I also thought the one part Micky sings, "You need no underwear."
You need no longer wear.
And at first I was like, what is he saying there? And I listened to it a couple more times, like, oh, okay. I was like, wow, he really got to the point.
You need long underwear, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the morning, it's cold.
It's true, especially in that beach house.
Yeah, I think when we pulled this back on episode 26, I think we included a clip of Carole King's demo of the song.
Sometime in the morning, a simple thought may occur to you, and you'll hold her.
Which is always cool to hear. And you see how far it goes from just being Carol and then the boys and the studio band singing it. It's great.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Just a very well put together song, and obviously one of our favorites.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So that brings us halfway through today's 10 tunes. You want to take a little breather there, Paco?
Yes, having a little drink.
There you go. And real quick, I want to talk about some of the iconic songwriters behind some of these Monkee songs. I was curious what the average score of some of their the output might be. First, let's go with Goffin and King, very very high power songwriting duo, all over rock and roll history, and they contributed 10 songs to the Monkees, And what do you think the average song score of the Goffin and King songs are? We seem to be talking about them quite a bit near the end of the countdown here.
I was going to say, it has to be pretty low, right?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I'm trying to think of how it could all wash out with 10 songs. And so, yeah, I don't know. Where are we at?
They are kind of all over the place, but it averages out 50.8 is the average score.
I was gonna say somewhere in the
which isn't
50s.
bad. And because we're still going to talk about a few more of the songs in the countdown coming up still. And kind of on the other side of it, we got the workhorses of the Monkee songwriting department. And the only Monkee songwriters that you have on a shirt.
Yep.
That's right. Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart. Real quick, off the top of your head, don't overthink it. How many of all these songs do you think Boyce and Hart wrote?
How many of all of them? Oh, wow. Say around the 20 area?
24.
There you go. There you go. I should went higher. Should have said mid-20s.
And you may remember they wrote some filler way at the back half of this countdown, and turns out that once I added it up and did the thing, the average Boyce and Hart song score is 91.
Ooh.
Half of their songs are in the triple digits.
I was going to say, if we cut it in half and said they're 12 songs, it would be a better indicator of their how much they meant to the Monkees songwriting process.
I think you're right there. In fact, if you want to give me just a second.
A few minutes later.
Average score of the Jams No Jellies Boyce and Hart is 52.
There you go. Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
That's more in line with the Goffin and Kings. But then we got our quality over quantity guy, Mr. Neil Diamond. He throws in 4 tunes to the boys. The average score is 28.
Whew. There you go. He's your closer.
So, yeah. Solid stuff from old ND.
Nice. He shines like a diamond.
You could say that. You did say that.
I did.
Up next, at number 25, I Won't Be the Same Without Her.
When she left, something inside of me died, and I won't be the same without her. No, I won't be the same without her by my side.
What a song that is.
For real. And another Goffin and King number, but less of a positive mood.
Yeah, exactly. Mike's voice, though, is perfect. And the background fa-la-las flutter around your ears without being, like, overpowering. Like, they're perfect.
For real. And it's of a piece with the rest of Instant Replay, which is a bummer album.
Mm-hmm.
And the lyric I pulled for this as like a replacement title for the album is, I'm afraid to face tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. The song is so good, and it just feels like it's from an earlier album. You know what I mean? Not because there's not good songs on Instant Replay, but they all have this kind of vibe to them. And this song doesn't quite have the vibe of later Monkees, more like mid Monkees.
Yeah.
To me.
Like a lot of the like the post Head soundtrack albums have like a song or two from earlier sessions that either was just completed, never made an album before, or like they had some tracks and they just kind of finished them up.
It's such a good Mike vocal on it too. Again, his longing songs, even when they're kind of jaunty like this one, you can still feel it in his voice. And and the guitar picking, the finger picking stuff is also really awesome.
Yeah, in fact, it is an outtake from 1966.
There you go. So that's why it feels like an earlier song, because it
was
is.
this and Teardrop City.
Oh, really, eh?
So yeah, like they like recorded Clarksville and Teardrop City around the same time.
That's weird, because Teardrop City to me sounds like an older song for some reason. Like it fits at the end of the Monkees catalog, but you know.
Yes. And so even though this is a post-Peter track, he is not on the cover, he is not in the band at this time, but he does play guitar on I Won't Be the Same Without Her.
That'd be kind of neat to see in the liner notes if you're a Monkees fan, but he's like, oh, is he coming back? Are we doing this again? It's like, no, this is from 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Forget it.
Let it go.
The album's called Not For Pete's Sake.
Yeah. All right, so now they're going to bring us up here to number 24. And you told me that it's going to be You Told Me.
I told you.
You told me you'd always say you told me. You told me you'd never stray. You told me.
Another great Mike tune, like vocal-wise, awesome. The opening is funny with the guys messing around in the studio.
Yeah.
And just kind of yelling at each other, and then all of a sudden that guitar comes in. Again, another great guitar-picking song in the intro. And it's awesome.
The crazy counting at the start is kind of a takeoff on Taxman, which
Yeah.
has the counting at the start of their album.
Yeah. The 1, 2,
And yeah, this is like
4.
strong example of them strapping on the instruments and going to town.
Yeah, it sets the mood that them having fun in the studio is like, that's what you wanted them to be doing. And so
That's right.
to have that at the beginning of this song is like, yeah, it's cool. It's fun. It gives it a cool intro. Like, as soon as you hear them counting that off, you hear the rest of the song coming with it.
Yeah. And like All of Your Toys was the first song they did together as like a quote unquote real band. It probably would have been the first song on the album if it wasn't for some legal snafus. But this is a solid opener as well, I would say.
Just the way the music comes in after that guitar picking part, it's almost like a wave comes and picks you up, and then that bass carries you through, and it's an awesome bass.
Chip Douglas, yo.
He knows what he's doing.
It's funny because like everyone just lets it slide, like 'cause it's the Monkees playing all the instruments. Well, some other guy plays the bass, but who cares?
Yeah, exactly. His name is Chip, so, you know.
Up at number 23, we got Look Out, and in parentheses, Here Comes Tomorrow.
I see all kinds of sorrow this time on the loved one. Look out, here comes tomorrow. Oh, how I wish tomorrow would never come.
A great Davy sung song. Like I think one of his strongest songs, in my opinion, or one of my favorite songs Davy sings.
Yes. And that's another Neil Diamond track. We've heard a few earlier on the countdown, and we're going to hear one or two more, I have a feeling. Well, like just before Neil Diamond became a star in his own right, he was a Brill Building songwriter, and he contributed several songs, including this one, for more of the Monkees.
I could definitely hear Neil Diamond singing this song. It has that swaggery Neil Diamondiness.
And the big strummy acoustic guitar, like there's that. It's on this song, and it's on A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You. It's just such a signature sound.
Yeah. And it's also a very Davy predicament of having two girls that like you and you like them, but you have to choose one of them and send the other one packing.
At least two birds at all times.
Yeah, so funny. For me, the day before I started high school, I was so nervous to start high school. I played this song like over and over because I was dreading it so much. And I remember when I heard this song over that summer, because that's a summer you got the box set and we got into the Monkees. I remember when I heard it, I was like, I'm playing this song the day before I go to school because I don't want to go there. And I had very different problems than Davy Jones in high school. It wasn't about too many girls liked me. But to go back to the song, the actual song, like the chorus is rousing. As soon as he does the I feel, you're just like, here we go. You just want to like start stomping and clapping with it.
And the song just gets better and better. And like it mentions the title right off the top. It mentions the title in that chorus. And like when it comes back from the the whispering part and the do 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 do. And then when it comes back, it's re-rousing. Well, I see.
Yeah.
It gets right back into it. It's so good. And of course, the pictures in your head is them at the back of the pad in their blue shirts, just rocking the tune.
Yeah.
This is the Kids and Guns episode, I think. Where the place is all full of kids running around. But they also have guns. Because,
as they do.
Different times, man.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a song where I don't feel the other guys could have pulled it off as well. It's like a Davy Jones song. Like, Micky could have sang and it would have sounded good, but Davy just pulls it off better. He's got more of that bravado or whatever it was. That's all over the song. Similar
to the songs that are in Mike's wheelhouse, there are some that are in Davy's wheelhouse all the way.
Yeah.
And this is one of them.
Word. All right, so now at number 22, we've got Auntie's Municipal Court.
Fireman, crazy man, he can't see. Sound of the sunset, the sound of the sea. Why do the people always look at me? Nobody here can see that we are you. She's him too.
Amazing.
What a name for a song, first of all.
That's obviously a Mike thing again.
Yeah, does not appear anywhere in the same area code as the song does.
Of course not.
Yeah. And it's another song that I overlook sometimes, but every time I hear it, I'm like, you should not overlook this song. It's radical. It's the groovy, mellow trippiness of the song is a great vibe for summer afternoon. So right around this time, throw it on.
It's got that country rock twang, the picking on the guitar, and it's probably the most effective use of that Mike and Micky blend, where you can't even separate the two voices.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Micky's voice is great, Mike's voice is great. Together, they're unbelievably great. And another song for people who aren't into the Monkees might be surprised to know who they're listening to when you play it for them.
Yeah. And on our list, I found a version of it. It's an alternate take with the Mike lead vocal kind of up front, and clips taken from the show and other footage. And it's got the shot of Pete in the Rainbow Room playing the bass, and it looks like he's playing this riff, the do do do.
Yeah,
it's pretty convincing. I like it. I like this. Whatever fan put this together, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, it really does look good. And yeah, that bass is awesome. The breakdown part, just that part you just sang there, and then doodle 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 doom boom 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 boom. Oh man, bass is awesome.
I know the ride out with the crazy vocals at the end.
Yeah. Again, a song that as you listen to it, it keeps getting better and better, and that wild freak out at the end just adds greatly to this awesome song.
Yeah, man. It's another one of those kind of missing links-ish tunes that is all over Birds and the Bees and Monkees and just kind of strengthens that whole album.
Yeah, 100%. It's fantastic. So this brings us down to our last song on the countdown here, Legal to Drink, number 21, with Love to Love.
Let's say you need love to love. You gotta have love to love. They all say it works that way, but if it's true, why do I love you? Why do I love you?
As we mentioned earlier, Neil Diamond coming up with the goods.
Yeah, for real. And this is a song that didn't make it onto an actual Monkees album until Good Times. It popped up on Missing Links Volume 3, and it was on the box set.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's on that Australian Monkey Mania mega album you have.
It is.
So there's like 3 or 4 versions floating around that were not on any of the original records.
Which is so crazy because the song is so good. It was another one from the box set that was like, oh, this is so good. And then when you start collecting the albums, you realize like, it's not on any of these albums.
And I don't know why I didn't end up on a different album. Maybe because it's kind of a slight downer to hear Davy Jones say, "Why do I love you?" You know?
But it's so good sounding, you don't really absorb the bummerness of it.
Yeah, it's got this, like we said about Neil earlier, the strummy guitars, the tootly organ, and we're going to hear more of that a little later on in the countdown.
Toot, 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 toot. It's awesome.
So yeah, it's a good tune, a deeper cut, and maybe we like it more than a lot of people do because way up here at number 21. But I think it's a worthy tune. It's one of our favorite Davy songs, and we like it a lot.
If other people wouldn't have this in their top 25, let's just say it, idiots, because it's. But yeah, it was my favorite Davy Jones sung song for a very, very long time.
It is a good one.
And I guess it is kind of a bummer the way he sings it, but hey, he sings it well. He's Davy Jones. He just gives you the goods, and all you feel is good.
And like you said on the Good Times records, Micky throws in some background vocals. They kind of snazz the tune up a little, and it was good to hear Davy on the record.
Yeah, it really was. Especially like, I'm glad that on Good Times they didn't pull up like a schmaltzy.
Yeah.
You know, The Day We Fell in Love or something like that, like a new one of those. It's like, oh man, no, they gave him Love to Love, like a deep cut fan favorite because we've heard it in other versions, and it was great. It was a great representation, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did you hear what Paul McCartney is doing?
Yeah, the whole AI thing.
I am glad that the Monkees did not do any of that.
Yeah, AI-NO. Like, I do not want it. Why? If he's just doing it to make some money or something, like I guess, he does not need it.
Nay.
And is it for kids or for young people to hear something new, or Beatles fans to get something new? But it's not. Like, if you're going to do that, then bring in Sean Lennon to do a John Lennon part. You know what I mean? Like, don't. If you're going to just farm out John Lennon, bring Sean into the mix. He's like,
it was a weird move in the Anthology days when they dusted off the John's answering machine tapes or whatever to make Free as a Bird and whatnot. But this is just, we found some more.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I think maybe he's just trying to keep the Beatles in the conversation and whatever. But
yeah, that'd be the only reason to do it, I'd say. And even that's not like, oh, that's a good reason. It's just like, I see what you're doing, I guess. But like, I think AI is also still so new that probably in 10 years when you hear this, it's going to be like, you know, like the piano players who threw away all their piano and just used keyboards in the early 80s. It's like, man, you did that a little prematurely, I think, because technology still has some boots to fill.
Yeah. And I think Paul just turned 81 the other day. And like, just sit down, Paul.
Yeah.
Just relax.
I don't get it. But one thing, there's the Claypool Lennon Delirium band, which is Les Claypool and Sean Lennon. Mm-hmm. And their last tour, they ended every show by playing Tomorrow Never Knows.
Oh, my God.
Bro, look it up online because it's Sean singing it, and he sounds like, it doesn't sound exactly like John. He sounds like Sean, but enough like John where you're like, holy, first time I heard it, man, I got goosebumps. I think I even teared up. And I was so mad I didn't go to the show because they played in Toronto. And Geddy Lee came out and played with them too.
No shit.
Yeah. So
that's very cool.
Yeah. But like, and it's awesome because, you know, Tomorrow Never Knows is like a ripping tune, but you never heard it live. They never played it live, never did anything.
No.
But to see this with that band playing it and Sean singing it, it was also just like, wow, I'm glad he's doing this because he could be very much like, I'm not touching anything like that. Like, no way. But then Tomorrow Never Knows comes out and you're just like blown away by it. And so I'd rather see Sean come into a Beatle-y type thing than a computer.
Yeah. No doubt. So that's Love to Love by the Monkees at number 21.
Paul McCartney, why do I love you?
You know, anyone listening to a Monkees podcast is probably into the Beatles as well. I'm just saying.
You got to assume. And they probably have their own ideas of what Paul's doing. And if leave a comment about what you think about Paul bringing in AI to do a John Lennon part in his song.
Like,
No, George, they're not bringing in George. Just only AI to do John. Actually, I'm waiting for the call to do George. I think they heard the podcast. Hey, we heard you do a little George Harrison. How about you come on in and do that then? Oh, have you met my computer? Thank you for having me. You could stick your computer right up your bullocks. Let's call Sean. And it was if Ringo's like, are you going to call me? Like, just virtual Beatles, and there's a live Beatles still around, and Paul's just like, no.
Ringo is knocking at the door while they're making the songs.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thanks for bringing the pizza ring. I keep better time than you do. Oh, good one, computer.
It's a ring point, though.
Yeah, Ringo should just do. I'm gonna do an AI wings. That's what Paul just fires back with that. You're my AI Linda in your fucking face. I'm gonna cut that part out, but
Lind AI.
Yeah, Linda AI. Oh gosh.
All that said,
go Monkees.
It's time to call it another episode.
Yes.
Of the Randomatic Countdown here at Podcast Valley Sunday, right on the doorstep of the top 20.
Oof, we're getting into it now.
I wonder what kind of Beatles chat we'll have next week.
See what else Paul does in the meantime, I guess.
No joke.
From me, Paco.
And me, Jeff.
Have yourselves a Monkees little evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.